So this is step number 3. Now he's asking you that just now I started. I have completed this. I just completed this one. Choose instance type, and I have choose the T2.micro right now. But later I will choose another one based on my requirement. See, now the step number 3 is configure instance details. Here they are asking you how many machines you want. You can have 10, you can have 15. So he will be giving you 15 instances on T2.micro based hardware type. And what image you have selected, AMI Linux. So you will be getting the that 15 machines. You can run it inside your single inside this particular region. So minimum 1, maximum 20. If you go more than 20, they will not allow. So you have to contact them. That is a limit of the on-demand user. This is auto scaling, very important feature. If you put your instance inside auto scaling, you will be getting recovery. Instance will get recovery from the failures, and auto scaling is recommended for high availability. This will give you high availability in case your instance fails. See, instance may fail on different conditions. We can't say, I'm not going to give 100% guarantee that your machine will be running 4 hours without any problems. Even AWS will not give you any type of guarantee your machine will run without any problem. Any kind of disaster may come on instance, and if your instance running auto scaling, he will recover you from that problems. He will recover your server from that problems. And what kind of you may getting lot of problems like you have availability zone fails, region fails, server fails, or accidentally deleted. To overcome all these problems, you should run your instance inside auto scaling. And auto scaling is a feature who will recover the server without you to take any backup. And when instance is recovered in auto scaling, this auto scaling will keep on continuously monitor the instance. If instance is having any type of problems, then he will start recovering the instance from that failure. Previously, we don't have a high availability option for EC2, but today we have, and that is called auto scaling. This is automatic process of recovering an instance. But you can run instance without attaching with auto scaling group. But if instance corrupted or something happens, there is no recovery. The only recovery is images or auto scaling. Right now, you can't take image because instance is not running right now. So that's why they have given auto scaling group for if instance is running on multiple availability zones. So I can say I don't need auto scaling if instance is running on multiple availability zones. Since instance will run in single availability zone, so if this availability zone fails, then your instance does not have any kind of recovery. So if you run your instance inside auto scaling, if your instance fails in this availability zone, it will automatically replaced by auto scaling in another availability zone. So that is how it is, and but we cannot select we cannot run the same machine on 2 different availability zone. So I have to select one availability zone or maybe next one, but not both at the same time. So that is the problem we have here. So that's why auto scaling is a very much essential feature for you. So if you're skipping this option right now, later also you have option to add your instance inside any one of the auto scaling group later. Next one is purchasing option. So here itself you decided to purchase this instance for as an on demand, you can purchase it. Sorry, as a spot, you can purchase it. And this is very important, default VPC is there. So your instance should attach with at least one VPC that may be custom or maybe default on that particular region. If you don't have a custom VPC, you just go and work with default. The problem with default VPC is not in your control, and default VPC does not have private subnet. So all these subnets are public. So this means in any availability zones or subnets, you will run your instance. That instance will get connected with internet. So this means there is no private subnets designed for default VPC. Suppose you don't have any VPC support on that region, then I'm sorry to say you cannot run your machine. Let's see one example. Suppose I have a default VPC. Okay, so I have a default VPC here, and this is the default VPC. What I have is running on this particular region. So we have a option called, we can delete a default VPC. Okay, let I delete default VPC. So now the default VPC is deleted. So now when you go to and cancel it, and now try to start launch any instance, see here what is telling, there is no VPC found and no subnets, so you cannot continue. So you should provide a VPC, otherwise you can't able to run any machines. Only for this region. To go other region, there is another default VPC they have created and attached. No need to worry. If you lost your default VPC, you can recreate it. But if you deleted your custom VPC, you cannot restore it back. So just create it and see, it will be coming back. And normally you can attach your instance. Here, there is no problem now. Okay, and in AWS, instance must be part of at least one of the security groups and one VPC and one subnet. If you fail to provide security groups, if fail to provide a VPC, definitely it will not run. And now you see, if you're really some organizations, they never go for default VPC, they will create their own VPC and they will be running their services. Okay, and this is the first console they are going to create. Later I'll tell you how to create our own VPC and own subnet. So you see, suppose AWS asking you that which availability zone you want to run, which subnet you want to run this instance, and each availability zone each subnet have 4091 free IP address available, calculated by CIDR table, and you can run this much of machines on that particular subnet. And no, this is true that no one will run that 4091 instances on that particular subnet, but they have provided. Okay, and for other regions also same, 4091 IP address available. Where it is coming from here, here the subnets. Here two subnets, and each subnets have, you can see, 4091 free available IP address. Okay, so you can pick up from this.
But there are only two, there is no IPv6.
No, by default they have not designed here IPv6, but if you want, you can have it. Suppose you're going to create your own VPC, for example, here, you can have your IPv6 block. See, Amazon Pro IPv6 block, and you can have it. If you give no IPv6, then no IPv6 support you will be getting for you. But if you want IPv6 support, so click on this and go to action, and we have this one. This subnet is, suppose you're going to create, see here, we have edit IPv6 CIDR, and that option, inside that option, you can have a CIDR, IPv6 based CIDR values. Okay, and this is not recommended right now, so to have IPv6, but if you really like it, so you can, when you create a VPC, just give Amazon provided IPv6 CIDR block, and that will allow to have IPv6 support. Okay, so next one is auto assign public IP. This option they provided to give general public IP for our server, and this public IP is general public IP. This means it's a temporary public IP, and it will keep on change when you are stopping and starting your server. Okay, and this auto assign public IP means don't think this is a permanent public IP. It's a temporary. Public IPs are two types. One is elastic IP, one is general IP. So this is, they are asking you to provide here general public IP. If you give no, if you give disable means your instance will not get any public IP and your instance become private. Okay, and then the next option to provide in public IP, what is next option? Suppose if I give and disable, then after I have launched the machine, again I cannot provide general public IP. Here, for instance, something you can change, something you can't change. When after you launch your instance, you cannot change your VPC. After launch your instance, you cannot change the availability zone or call subnet. After launch instance, you cannot bring back your general public IP. This is unchangeable. Changeable is IAM role you can change. You can able to change security groups. You can able to change termination protection, monitoring. These all things are auto scaling. These all things are changeable. But if you selected wrong VPC, you selected wrong subnet, you have disabled auto assign. These all things will never change. Again, you need to delete the instance. Again, you need to start again. You have to relaunch again new one. So if you disable auto assign public IP here, the only option is you have to provide elastic IP for your machine, and that is something chargeable. So now let I give him an IP.
Even one.
Yeah, that is one or one maximum 5. You can have 5 elastic IP per region. You cannot ask more than they will not provide more than 5. If you want to go more than 5, you need to contact them. They will provide you more. See, for example, this is your EC2, and you are looking for elastic IP. So go to that elastic IP and request. See, and they have immediately they provide you that elastic IP, and maximum, as I told, 5. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see 5. That's all. So if you allocate more, there will be error, and they cannot have more than 5 elastic IP per region. So if you want to go more than this, you need to contact them. They will give you more elastic IP support. And these all elastic IPs are not free, per hour charged. Okay, so next option is this placement group. This option is specifically given for low to moderate base network performance instance types. Suppose you have some instance type, they have written low to moderate like this. This instance performance, the network performance is very low, and the hardware performance also very low. To boost up this instance network performance, they have introduced the concept of the placement group. But not all the instances you can put in placement group. Placement group means there are 2 types of placement groups we have. One is called spread, and one is a cluster. So spread means individual machines are going to club with each other, and the network performance will be very much good. Cluster means all machines will be formed as a cluster, and network performance, like you have 5 instances, and one instance have 1 Gbps. When you connect those instances in a placement group as a cluster, 7 Gbps, that is a network performance. And just remember, placement group is not eligible for free tier users. This is only for paid users. Okay, here the maximum 7 instances you can place in one placement group, and you can have spread or maybe cluster, but limited instance support they have provided. So when you go to placement groups, so this is for we have a cluster placement group, and we have a spread. So each spread means each instance can have different type of hardware performance, and they can be clubbing each other. Cluster means all instances should have same hardware performance. That we already know. Cluster means what? In cluster, when 2 or 3 machines are combining each other, all those machines, hardware performance, the motherboard and operating system, everything match. Then only they can form a cluster. But here is not like that. Spread means different hardwares, and you can club into one. Only these instance types only these instance types hardware performance of this instance families can be part of the placement group, but other family of instance not, they are not eligible for that. Only A1, M4, M5, M5, M5D, only these instance types are eligible, but other instance types are not. So that is very limited parameters we have for placement groups. So they have given few steps to put in the instance placement group, but this feature is not that much required when your instance is already running with a high level of network performance, like 10 Gbps, 25 Gbps. For that instance, we don't need that option because it's already running with high performance of network. Network performance is good, so you don't need this option. But even though you want it, you can create a new one, and you can have new placement group like. So here asking you spread. So put it in spread, and maximum you can have 7 instances in this placement group. So this is T2.micro base instance. If I go back and check, I think this one is not supported. That's why. So for free tier instance not supported. So we should have other instance in order to put the instance in this placement group, and it will boost up the network performance. We call enhanced networking. And next one is capacity reservation. This is newly introduced feature where you can. This is also comes under one kind of payment plans, and you can able to reserve your capacity, and you can set your time limit. So in between those starting and ending timing, you cannot able to change the capacity of the instance. Okay, so this capacity reservation is specifically designed for those people they really want to have low expenses, and they want to use the instance at regular intervals, but they don't want to get more expense, so they can go for this capacity reservation. Already we have discussed this one in our when we discussed about the types of payment plans in AWS, correct? So we have here the capacity reservation, and this feature is very much good for saving your expenses. And here itself they're asking what instance type you need. So I want this, and you want instance store S3 storage or EBS, and the platform is which operating system you need, and asking so how many machines you need. Suppose if we have 2 machines, and this tenancy should be default means shared. So the reservation ends manually. You will end, or you can give specific timings. So, within these timings, time limit, you cannot able to change the hardware performance of your this machine. So it is like just like reservation, and you can purchase it. So that's how the same option they have provided, capacity reservation, and this is good for to save your expense, and you are going to use your instance frequently. And next one is identity access management role. This feature is given for what? I have already created few roles. So when one AWS service wants to communicate with other AWS service, he must get the permission from this management console IAM role. Suppose your AWS EC2 wants to communicate with S3 bucket, so he should get the IAM role. And this role you can able to create here in your IAM management console, and which is also regionless service. And here we have the roles, and here you need to create the role and you need to attach it. And here AWS asking you that you want to create a role for which management console, like EC2 and other one. So if you click EC2, EC2 is a major console, wants to communicate with other AWS service permissions, and here they provide you the list of permissions, whichever you want it, you can connect and you can create a role. Like suppose I want AWS CloudWatch full access. So this is one role we have, which is provided by AWS. So suppose if you are going to activate this. So I'm going to give, and the role is successfully created. So go back to your instance, and here you can see that role will be showing you here. So here AWS EC2 CloudWatch full access. So this means when you attach this permission, then your EC2 instance will get full access to communicate with CloudWatch. So that is what they have given. If you give none, no permission. So this means this EC2 instance cannot communicate with any other console because there is no IAM permission. There are two methods in AWS when a particular console wants to communicate with other console. One is this identity access management. Via him you can communicate. Next one is your security credentials. You have to give the keys, okay? And using this key, and per AWS account holder will get two keys. And via these keys, they can communicate with other AWS management console. Okay, and these keys are very, very much sensitive. And if anyone got this key, they may misuse your AWS account. So keep this key secretly, and this what AWS tells, keep rotate this key every week or every month, or you just put it in inactive state. Okay, so if you don't want, just delete it. And these keys are very much essential for connectivity. But don't worry, I will be coming back on these keys later. Okay, how to use these keys. So that's why if you don't have IAM permission, use the key. If you have IAM permission, most probably you don't need to use those keys. Okay, next one is shutdown behavior. See, what is shutdown behavior? Basically, you are launching an instance and you are shutting down the instance, correct? You can shut down your OS. Once you shut down your OS, what AWS will do outside? He will stop. Suppose if you give terminate and you are shutting down your instance, AWS will terminate the instance. You understood this? You have not understood. See, suppose you have a server that which is running inside AWS, and the option we have selected here is shutdown behavior. This means this is running Windows Server 2012, and you have shut down the machine. Okay, shut down the server. Okay, so you have given shutdown option inside your 2012 server, and what AWS will do? Externally, what you have given option? Terminate. So what they will do? They will be terminating the machine here. So internally it is shut down. You have given shutdown, And externally, what they will do, they will be terminating the machine.
So we can't access it.
No, is it deleted? So suppose if you're given that option, what? Stop. So when you're shutting down, it will be stopping the instance. So internally one, externally one. So most people, what they do, they'll give only stop only. They never give terminate. And this option is very good. And this option is given to protect your instance from getting accidental termination. For example, let I go to another region and let I launch a machine. So this is for explaining, and that is for showing you that option practically here. So consider this machine is running here inside this region, and this is running in which instance type? T2 port micro, okay, which is free tier eligibility. And this option is I'm going to explain this termination protection. See, they have given this option here, change termination protection. If you click on this, enable it, so no one will accidentally terminate the instance. So it will protect you from that problem. Okay, so if suppose if you have not given this option, suppose you have disabled here, so you can able to get terminated, accidentally can terminate. If it's terminated means there is only two options to recover. Either you should have image, or either you should run inside our auto scaling. If you don't have this, then it is always gone. Okay, that's why they have given here itself to select that option. Okay, that is to protect against accidental termination. Coming back to shutdown behavior. Okay, inside the shutdown behavior, what is going on here? So let me launch an instance, and let I give here. Here itself, they are providing you this option, shutdown behavior. So we have two options, stop and terminate. Let me give terminate. Apply. So what I give an option? Terminate. Now try to connect this one with SSH running, and this is the password. Don't worry, I explain this one. And let me start this machine. Okay? And it will open your remote desktop file and paste it. And this is opening. This is a running instance on EC2, but not light sail. So now it is just starting up, and now the thing is here I have given this option. Shutdown behavior as a terminate. So I'm going to click this option. What I'm going to do? Shutdown. So once you click shutdown, what AWS will do? Here they will be terminating. See, that is how it is. So internally you have given shutdown, and externally what action they have taken? Terminated. So that is how the option here is. You should give stop. Okay, so internally if you shut down, so externally what he will do? He will stop. Okay, so that's the behavior of that one. Suppose I have another machine. And now the shutdown behavior is I'm going to give as a stop. So here I'm going to give as a stop. So it will take a little bit time to generate the password. Immediately they will not generate password. So it will take time. Meanwhile, let's continue this. So I hope you understood this and this. What will be the cost? And next one is monitoring. See, Amazon CloudWatch is a component who do the monitoring process for our instance. And we have two types of monitoring: basic monitoring and detailed monitoring. So basic monitoring, which is absolutely free, no cost. For detailed monitoring, you have to pay per hour. That's why they are giving you this detailed monitoring option. If you want to enable, he will be digging more deeply and he will find more. He will be watching the instance more closely. That is detailed monitoring. And next is tenancy. Tenancy is I already told this is something like you want to convert now itself this machine as a dedicated host, you can convert. This means this is not going to share with anyone. If you want to share means this machine you can share with any other person, any other AWS user. That is called tenancy is shared. And all of these three things are paid one. There is no free here. So best one is this shared. So run a shared hardware instance. This option is something they are telling you that T2 and 3 T3 based instance types are running always low hardware. If you want to have more optimization performance, so if you select this option and your instance running low hardware and low RAM, low processor means they will increase the performance while your T2 or T3 instance is running. So we call SS spikes. This is called credit, and AWS will charge you credit based payment. You know what is credit? How many times it helps to increase the performance of the machine? That is called a credit, and they will be charging you based on that. So that is have T2 and T3 unlimited. By default, these two options only for T2 and T3 based instance types. But if you're selecting any other instance type like we have M5D, M4, we don't need that option is almost disabled. We don't have that option here. Okay, so only for the T2 and T3 based in hardware types. When you are selecting, they must need this because they are always having low type of hardware performance. For that purpose, they have given this. It's just like a spikes of performance, burst performance. Very nice feature to increase the performance of those instances. And this one is advanced details. AWS asking you to write a script. Okay, if you want to have any script, Chef, Puppet, Bash shell scripting, PowerShell, write it here. Before your instance start, this script will execute. And your script is very big means attach as a file like Notepad or WordPad, attach it and run it. Don't worry, you can have those scripts after launching instance also, like this we have, and you can write your script here itself. Okay, maybe big or small, you can write and execute it. You have Chef and Puppet, those scripts also, welcome here, and you can put it here. So that is the steps, huge options, but all are useful. That is step number 3. And step number 4 is a add storage. So add storage. So here we are going to discuss about EBS storage. elastic block storage, and AWS designed 5 elastic block storage for instance. 5. Okay. Here you can see. Here is 3, and here is another 2. 5. I'm asking a question. Why he is showing only 3? We have total 5 is correct. These EBS volumes are all just like a block storage, like this. We have a block storage, same as that. We call as a in on-premises. What are the storages we have? We have SATA, iSCSI, ID, like that. Same as that. This all storages they have designed for this all virtualization storage, and they have designed for EC2 instances, Linux and Windows. See, your databases, your operating system will be running on block storage. They never run on object storage, because every block storage have what? File system, and that file system is required. Same as this all the block storages we have, and these all storages are designed for different purpose, designed for different use cases, and designed for different type of workloads. Why they're showing only 3? Because these 3 volumes designed for booting, because this is a root volume which contains the operating system, and these 3 volumes designed for booting. If you add additional storage, another 2 storage will be cold HDD, throughput optimized HDD. These 2 not designed for the booting. These 2 designed for other purpose. That is why it is not showing here, because only 3 volumes are designed for booting purpose. Since AWS supports 3 types of storages, one is SSD, one is HDD, and third one is a magnetic. So you can see this are SSD storage, this is magnetic, and cold HDD and throughput optimized. This is this is HDD storage, not SSD. See, this is HDD storage. Okay, since AWS is based on Linux, so he will be referring every storage is like Linux style. Okay, this is not a Windows style, Linux. All right, so I will be adding more volumes later. And next one is, you can see, let's see what is the use case of these volumes, and since what is the maximum size of these volumes, and which storage is best, and which storage is designed for what purpose. So as expected, maybe they will bring many new changes on this storage types, but the storage types is still very much essential for, they recognize as a block storage. You can see here, in the site itself, you find it very detailed information about these storages. When we come to EBS volume types, we have 2 types of storages, SSD and HDD. Both are used for backup only, but SSD is fast and one of the most efficient storage, and the performance is very good. But HDD, we already know that it is low performance, but it's also good for large number of backups. But SSD designed for transactional workloads, and it have a huge amount of read and write operations. But this is for streamlined workloads, a little bit lower than, very much lower than SSD storage. Come to SSD. There are 2 types of storage they have designed for SSD. One is general purpose SSD, one is provision IOPS. And what to say about this storage? This storage is excellent storage, and this is one of the most fastest, and this storage is for very much critical applications you have, like databases. So this storage will give you the best performance. And these all storages are block storage, but this storage designed for different purposes. When come to general purpose SSD, it is specifically designed for booting purpose, test and develop environment, and for virtual desktops. If you're going to run general type of workloads, this storage is best for you. And you know, the capacity of this storage is a single volume can be 1 GB to maximum 16 terabyte. You know the size of VMware today, 16 terabyte, and see here one volume is a 16 terabyte. And here also AWS is the only cloud network who provide this much of storage support for our EC2 machines. And here you can see 116 TB. And when come to Provision IOPS, Provision IOP is one of the best storage and expensive storage among EBS volume. And Provision IOPS storage is designed for critical applications like databases you are going to run. Like we have Microsoft SQL, Oracle, and all. So if you're going to run this databases, this storage is best. And you can see the performance. A single volume size started from 64 GB to 16 TB. See, almost all storages have same level of hardware, same level of volume size, correct? And which way they are best? Because of this IOPS. In cloud, people will measure the best storage based on number of IOPS support, but not the number of storage support. Okay, which one is best? Provision IOPS, it has 64,000 IOPS. This is one of the best storage, one of the best block storage we have, and IOPS is 64,000. Previously it was just 32, but recently they have increased, and the performance is excellent. And it will give you, it have more read and write performance compared to other storages, and it is expensive too. That's a real demand for Provision IOPS when you are going to run mission critical applications like SAP, Hadoop, big data, and also databases. This is SSD. Both are designed for booting purpose. Now come to HDD. In HDD, two categories of storage they have introduced: throughput optimized HDD and cold HDD. Throughput optimized HDD, when we talk about this storage is designed for big data, data warehouse, log processing and all. Very good storage for them, and this storage is cannot be boot volume. IOPS is very bad, 500 maximum, but storage size is good, 500 GB to 16 terabyte. So IOPS is very less, so the disk read and write performance will be very low. Next is cold HDD. This one of the storage, one of the lowest AWS EBS volumes, cold HDD. This is name itself we have, cold HDD. All infrequent of access data we can put it here and we can access. This also cannot use for booting purpose. IOPS is also very bad, but the volume size is almost good, same as throughput, 500 GB to 16 terabyte. There is one more storage is available, magnetic, which is not comes under list because that is a magnetic storage. And this storage is almost designed for low type of workloads, like small applications you can run, and size is 1 GB to 1 TB, also designed for booting purpose. That's how this all storage is all about. Okay, and this is one of see. Don't worry about these storages. When you're going to create your own EBS volumes here, go to volumes, and when you try to create a new volume, and here you can see all storages are listed here. This is as a EBS volume, and this is API name, GP2, IO1, SC1, ST1, all standard. This all API name, application program interface. And as you've seen in this table, you can see here, Provision IOPS 4 GB to 16 terabyte and C64,000 IOPS. You can have your own IOPS. You can type it here, and AWS will generate that IOPS for you. Don't give IOPS for small applications. You are going to charge more. And next one is we have, as you can see, magnetic 1 GB to 1 TB and throughput optimized 500 GB to 16 terabyte and general purpose 1 GB to 16 terabyte. IOPS is not, they have already written IOPS. So maximum it will go how much? It goes 16,000 IOPS up to 16 terabyte. So based on the capacity, it will increase. But here, your choice. You can give your own IOPS support, and that will be there. This is how the EBS volumes types we have. So here I'm going to select general purpose. Later, I can able to have more volumes. And if you are a free tier user, you are eligible for only 30 GB of free usage. If you are going to cross 30 GB, you are going to be charged. So that's why they have given. So next is, I think you understood this. storages.